Hi there, guitar players. So this is a video on playing over changes using Pentatonics. It's going to be divided into three sections. The first section is we'll just recap the 5 pentatonic shapes. Now you may already know these, at least you'll know the first shape probably. We're going to go through them systematically. So shape 1. We're going to be in G minor. Shape 1 is one you might recognize, and it looks like this. So you probably have come across that. So that's shape 1. Shape 2 starts on the 2nd degree of this scale, which is on the 6th fret. And the pentatonic scale works in a system of 3 smalls, 2 bigs, 3 smalls, 2 bigs, etc. And whenever you go from a small to what I mean by small, I should define that. So a small is a shape that's separated by 1 fret. So that's a small. A big is separated by 2 frets. Big, small. Yep. So whenever I go from a small to a big, I always drop down a fret. So this shape 2 starts with the last of 3. So it starts with a small shape, and then we're about to do 2 big shapes. So you have to drop down a fret and do these 2 big shapes. I didn't cough because I have the virus. I'm just not swallowing enough. So then we have on the 5th fret a small, 3 smalls actually. Now this next small, because of the tuning of the B string, everything that transitions from the G to the B, because normally it would be 3 in a row, yeah? But because of the B string tuning, everything that goes to the B string has to go up a fret. So what we have is shape 2. So that's shape 2. Number 3 is 3 smalls in a row. It's actually shape 3, so you can think of that as 3 smalls in a row. And it starts on the C on the 8th fret. They're right next to each other. Now we've got a big, so we drop down a fret. B string tuning, go up a fret, and play a small. Now this string and this string are going to be the same, so that's going to help out. The last, the penultimate scale shape is going to be shape 4. And shape 4 is similar to shape 1 in that it starts with a big. But this shape 4 has 2 bigs in a row. So it looks like this. Then 3 smalls, tuning of the B string, then down 1 and a big shape. Shape 5, which is a nice treat if you've gotten this far, because it's a mirror image if you split it down the middle of this fretboard, and it goes 2 smalls, position shift down, 2 bigs, and then position shift up, and 2 smalls. Alright, so those are the 5 pentatonic shapes. Here's some things I wanted to talk about. You might notice when I play shape 2 is that I do that instead of this. Although I can do it, I want to lead with my first finger. And I teach my students to do the same. It's just, you use it for pointing. I mean, I do use this sometimes. I might use it for something like that. But for this position, for these shapes anyway, I'm leading with the first finger. The other thing is that I'm using my elbow to position shift. So if I do a shape like this, I can use my elbow to great advantage in order to shift positions so that you can't even hear. If you do it fast enough, you don't get you get it sounding like you have 8 fingers on one hand. So it's a really good example of a technique where you can position shift, so you don't have to reach over with your fingers. You can just position your hand in the nicest way to be able to play that note. So I just get my students to do this. Go up, wriggle the hand around, So that's very helpful, I think. This next section is how to learn any shape without thinking about it. And we're going to use shape 2 for this, because that seems to be the trickier one. So what I do is I have my reference page on the desk, right? So in order to get around this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my hand in the right place, and I'm going to look at the string, and I'm going to play the first string. Then I look at my guitar. I look at the reference sheet, look at the guitar, look at the reference sheet, always using the same fingering. Look at my guitar, and then add the next string, look at the guitar, look at the reference sheet, look at the guitar, look at the reference sheet, and add the last string. Look at my guitar. Now what you're doing is you're getting it off the paper and into your muscle memory and also into your ears. That's why we always start with the first note and go to where we're at in the string that we're working on. Because if you have to refer to something on paper, you don't own it. So we're trying to get it off the paper and into our muscle memories, into our ears, and you can learn almost any scale shape in a record amount of time using this technique. I've tested it on students, poor guinea pigs, and even not the sharpest tool in the toolbox can get this any shape down in record time using this method. So the next thing we're going to talk about is actually adhesing these pentatonic shapes to chord shapes. So the first shape that we're going to look at is an E chord shape. We're going to use our B flat because we've got the chord shape there. Now the chord shapes, the notes in the chords are these notes. Those are the ones in red. And the pentatonic notes are all the other notes in black. So I could play theoretically over a chord of A that's happening in the music, B flat, these notes. And they'll harmonise with the chord and sound okay, right? But it's a little bit bland, so we want to add a bit of harmonic content. So in this situation we're using pentatonic notes, although there's a whole variety of different scale shapes that you could use, but the main thing is to target the chord tones. So what I would do is I would start on a chord tone and finish on a chord tone, because the idea of the pentatonics in this situation is to move between chord tones. So let's have a look. So it's a very simple lick. So I'm starting on a chord tone, finishing on the chord tone here. There you go, there's another lick. So I can come up with these different ideas. They will sound like this chord, right? Let's go down to G minor. So over this chord shape over minor, I can play shape 1, our old, this friend of ours. See how that works? Now, no matter where I put that chord shape, if it's one of these shapes, I can use shape 1 over it. Same with this major chord. Yeah. The next chord shape we're going to look at is the A chord shape. And on the 5th fret is the D chord, and we're going to, like if you see the 13, because it's on the 13, we're going to change it down to 5. So there's our, we're going to play shape 5 over this. So that works over that chord. Now if you're going to play minor, you're going to use shape 4. So there's some really nice, it's one of my favourites, they call that chord shape. means is that, say if we take any unrelated chord progression, for example this, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going from G major to B flat, shape 1 here, sorry, shape 2, shape 2 on the 6th fret from B flat. So you can actually hear the chord changes, and the mark of any good solo is that you should be able to hear the chord changes even if there are no chord accompaniment with the solo playing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a weird progression, and it's going to be G minor, then I'm going to play C sharp, C, and then E flat. Now three of these chords are actually shape 5s, right? Because C sharp would be C, 6. Yeah, but I'm jumping all over the fretboard, right? So I remember, like, I had an Alan Holdsworth instructional video, and he said what he would do is he would, like, after he made the chord changes or whatever chord changes he had, he'd work out what he can do to solo over it. So we're going to use this kind of area. So what I'm going to do is because these chords share the same notes, like this G minor, these are the same notes that you'll find in B flat major or B flat shape 2. See? Okay, so I'm going to use my shape 2 on the 6th fret to play the G minor chord. Now, the C sharp, that's shape 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up a position, move up a shape, and play shape 1, which is on top of shape 5. Sorry, goes to shape 1. So where there's shape 5, this will be shape 1. Also on the 6th fret. If we go down to C, that means we drop the whole shape down 1 fret. So C, same idea. I'm using, instead of shape 5, I'm using shape 1. And then for E flat, I'm going to use shape 5, but on the 6th fret, so I'm staying in the same area. What we're going to do now is we're going to talk a little bit about trying getting it sound a little bit more fusiony. And that's where we use chromatics. So I'm taking a leaf out of Brett Garson's advice. I'm going to take a pentatonic shape like this, shape 1, and I'm going to fill it with chromatics like this, but within that shape. Right? Of course, you want to jumble it up a little bit, like. Yep. So we can take, because remember, we're trying to start on chord tones, finish on chord tones. So for this G minor, for this shape here, which is G minor, but shape 2. Then C, E flat, yeah, so you can kind of hear the changes being made, but a little bit, what the hell is going on, because there's all these chromatics. Now, if I understand correctly, I think chromatic means colourful in Italian. Though you may want to fact check that. I heard it may not be true. So anyway, let's, have we covered everything? I think we've covered pretty much everything. So yeah, just take some take some chords from a book and just try to play the chords, practice soloing. Another way, sorry, one more thing I could probably add is you can use shots, for example. So you play the chord and then a line. Yeah? Alright, so that's pretty much us for this lesson. I've got another lesson on timing, which I posted a couple of days ago. Keep safe in these dire times. I'm going to go buy some eggs and some... First time I've gone out of the house in about a week and a half. So I'm going to go get some eggs, some handy towels, maybe some of those kind of like juiced smoothies, I don't know. Going to stock up for the week. Keep safe, and you've got lots of time to practice, so have a go at this. Yeah, check out the timing video because that's going to help you with all sorts of timing, which is... When I'm playing live, I should mention that I have 5 tiers that I'm thinking of. Timing, that's the first one. And when I'm thinking timing, I'm thinking don't rush. Because if you rush, it always sounds bad. So my first line that I'm thinking of, my first tier is timing. The second tier is geometric shapes in relation to my fretboard. So I'm looking for interesting shapes to play, but I know what it's going to sound like because I know what it's going to sound like before I put my finger on it. So I make an idea of what I'm going to actually... Do I want to put my finger here, or what are other shapes I'm looking for all over the fretboard? The third tier is licks. It's important to have a whole barrage of licks that you know you can play at any tempo and at any speed, and also really nicely defined, all the notes are there. The next tier, number 4, is sequences. So you're sequencing different ideas like different scale patterns and chords and whatnot. And the last one is technique. So those are the things I'm thinking of when I'm playing live or doing recordings. But the most important thing is timing. So when I'm playing in my 80s band, every time I play live, I record it, whether I'm doing a session or I'm recording in my home studio or on somebody else's tracks. Don't rush. That seems to be the most important thing. Most guitar players rush when they go to play live. Like they get to especially when they get to a bit that they know they can play, they rush it because they want to get through it and focus on the hard thing. So don't rush. There can be a little mantra in your head. All right, I'm going to stop rambling. I'll leave it there, and happy playing. Catch you in the next video. Bye.